So we're going to talk about two items that are updates of what we discussed yesterday in relation to brand new Transformer product from the other side of the globe with Takara Tomy and their mall website. Let's talk about a brand new addition to the Transformers Canon / Transformers crossover collaborative and some updated images and information on our brand new masterpiece fembot in DiaBurnOut. So let's jump into that, discuss it. Really cool stuff here, and we'll see how it all turns out. So first up, I was wrong. Yesterday, I assumed that silhouette of the extra member of the Canon X Transformer crossover was going to be Megatron. I just assumed, hey, you got Optimus Prime, they're going to do Megatron. I could see a little camera shutter being used as a cannon, and that would be that. But they actually gave what the fans would have wanted, and that is that of a reflector that turns into a camera. Who would have thought, eh? And he's pretty much just a straight-up repaint, retool of the Optimus Prime Convoy version. Still transforms into a Canon EOS R5 camera, and that is that. But he does have some retooling here and some brand new stuff, so unlike the Optimus Prime comes with the matrix of leadership that could be put in his, quote, chest or lens. He comes with the quantum dial, which I have no idea what that is in Transformers lore. I've never heard of the quantum dial. I guess it's some form of matrix of leadership for Reflector and his crew. You know, I guess that's one way to look at it. Maybe I could write some extra lore into it, like I did back in the day with Flash Century with Reflector. But so there's the quantum dial. What's weird, the quantum dial, it actually is some kind of, MacGuffin in the Sonic the Hedgehog universe, oddly. It's some kind of thing that could make black holes and stuff. So maybe it's something, maybe it's a deep cut to some Sonic the Hedgehog lore with Sega. Who knows? But yeah, so he has the quantum dial accessory, and he also has, unlike Optimus comes with a camera that he could take photos with that's to scale with Optimus. We also have a camera that could be held by the figure here. This one transforms into the classic original Generation 1 Reflector camera alt mode. The original Reflector, by the way, back in the day was a Ryko 126C Flex TLC camera, which was a very iconic camera in Japan back in the day, and it's pretty much like the pseudo camera that a lot of people think of if they think of old film cameras back in the day for national retail. So he turns into traditional Reflector. It actually breaks apart into three pieces, just like the original toy and character did. It obviously does not transform, but it kind of just has that same, I guess, flavor to kind of invoke that. And of course, the lens cap makes a shield too. It's for whoever is interested in this. It's also going to have the same MSRP like the Optimus of 198,000 yen, aka about $150, give or take. And it's going to have the same release date. Pre-order start now, and it's going to have a release date of February of 2023. So if this is something that speaks to you, if you're one of those hardcore Reflector fans and you got to get them all, or you just like camera Transformers that are going to join Spy Shot 6 and FOMO and the crew with BotBots and Reflector, hey, it's out there. It's cool. I mean, between the two of them, the Reflector one does kind of interest me more just because of that quantum dial accessory. That's me jumping into lore and going, what is that? I want to own that. But I mean, at the end of the day, I think the Optimus is probably the nicer of the two. But it is what it is. Pretty cool otherwise. And if it's your bag, hey, it's out there. Let's talk about Masterpiece. So the next addition to the Masterpiece collection, we have Transformers Masterpiece MP53 Plus B DiaBurnOut. Now we had just a silhouette just yesterday, and now we have a full photo shoot, tons of images, pre-order dates, all the stuff that's going on here and what we're getting. And she looks absolutely fantastic. Number one, she's going to come with all the weapons of the previous releases. Now, for people that aren't aware, we had the original Skids mold that came with the dual blaster and the little, I call it a muffler cannon, but it looks like a muffler cover cannon. So he came with two weapons. And then the Crosscut and Reboost repaints came with a rifle and then a sub kind of like minigun too. So across the three molds at the time, there was 4 different accessories, not to mention with both Reboost and Crosscut, you got the Moto Campo, which was the little scooter / motorcycle that went in the trunk. And then of course, Reboost also got an extra little Diaclone driver or hologram driver, however you want to interpret that. But this one here, the DiaBurnOut, comes with everything. The only thing you're not getting is the Diaclone driver from Reboost, which was actually just a clear repaint of the Spike mold that came with Hound, Masterpiece Hound. You get a different Diaclone driver. So much like Spike was repainted into a Diaclone driver with Hound, we have Carly that came with, if I remember correctly, Carly came with the MP44 Optimus Prime, because I'm mixing it up with the Diaclone Ultra Magnus, which came with Melissa Fairborn. Yeah, it was Carly that came with the Optimus Prime. So MP44 Optimus Prime, Carly, I'm just looking at my collection here to double check. And she's painted in all clear, again, invoking that Diaclone / Microman driver, in this case Diaclone, with this. And looks amazing. So, you literally get the entire arsenal of weapons, the Moto Campo, and a unique Diaclone hologram driver with it. I mean, at the end of the day, the only thing you're not getting is just the male version, which was the Spike repaint. And that's probably a good reason to get Reboost, because Reboost is pretty awesome too. Pretty cool stuff. I dig it a lot. It looks great. I just love that Kojin Ono's designs from Diaclone are getting pretty much all the color schemes. For people who don't know, Kojin Ono, who was one of the godfathers of Transformers, he owned a Honda City back in the day, the old Toyota Honda City. I don't know if he mentioned if he owned the turbo version or the main version, the retail version, but so he owned a Honda City, and then when he was working on Diaclone, he included the Honda City as one of the cars because he drove one. And then years later, he would then work on this masterpiece. So it all comes full circle. And every single repaint up to this point, minus one of them, has been turned into a masterpiece. So we already have the Skids repaint, aka the blue version. We have the Crosscut and the Reboost repaint, aka the silver version and the red version. Now we have the DiaBurnOut here, which is going to be the black version. All that's missing is the red version with red head. Just picture like Reboost, but with a red head sculpt instead of a blue one, and some deco on the side that's similar to Ironhide, like a yellow deco on the side of the alt mode. Maybe they'll do that one. Who knows? And then we'll get all 5 different versions. That would be pretty crazy. But man, a lot of love going on for this mold. And again, Honda, I guess, had a really good relationship with Takara Tomy to produce this. So this is going live right now for pre-order. It's about 10,780 yen, so about $80 USD, which is about honest. I mean, it's pretty much what the other ones cost too in the past, the Reboost, the Crosscut, and the Skids, except you get everything and more than the previous ones. I think the Skids is probably the Skids and the Crosscut are probably the cheaper releases, and the Reboost you get a bunch of stuff, and the Moto Campo and the Diaclone driver. And with this one, with the DiaBurnOut, you get everything. So that's pretty awesome. The release date here is March 2023. Pre-orders start right now, so be sure to pick that up. I am super interested in this. This looks great. This speaks right to me, and it's looking like a really good year for Burnout as a character. Originally, a BotCon kind of thing back in the day. Based off of, again, a Diaclone color scheme with a Diaclone driver. And now we have, just in this year alone, we have the Burnout with the Velocitron 500 collection. She's going to be called DiaBurnOut in the Japanese release, but she's just called Burnout here in the West. And now we have this masterpiece one. This is fantastic stuff. This is great. I can't wait to pick this up. Now I actually want to get Burnout from Velocitron 500, where that was probably my least interesting of the bunch, in my opinion, the least exciting. But now I kind of want to have a nice little collection of them. Now I have the old BotCon, I have the Diaclone one. Now I could put, the Velocitron 500, and when I get this masterpiece one, and have a nice little collection of this obscure side character. Pretty cool stuff. I dig it. We still have more news to talk about. There's a Transformer adjacent line that's going to be coming out soon too. We got to talk about that from the Takara Tomy side of things. A lot of stuff going on. We'll talk to you again real soon. I'll see you then.